Calvin Coolidge, the 30th President of the United States, was known for his brevity, humility, and deep respect for the American people. Below are some of his most memorable quotes. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. The slogan, "Press on," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. To live under the American Constitution is the greatest political privilege that was ever accorded to the human race. Don't expect to build up the weak by pulling down the strong. The business of America is business. I have never been hurt by what I have not said. Greatness is not where we stand, but in what direction we are moving. Collecting more taxes than is absolutely necessary is legalized robbery. The more I study the Constitution, the more I am convinced that the people who wrote it were far-sighted, able, and wise beyond measure. Prosperity is only an instrument to be used, not a deity to be worshipped. The nation which forgets its defenders will be itself forgotten. Self-government means self-support. We do not need more laws, we need more obedience. Keep going. When you are going through hell, keep going. To some generations much is given. Of other generations much is expected. This generation has a rendezvous with destiny. America's business is business. The chief business of the American people is business. Of course, the accumulation of wealth is not the chief end of men. It is merely the means to it. In America, the Constitution is a tool, not a weapon. Economy is idealism in its most practical form. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. The nation which forgets its defenders will be itself forgotten. To live under the American Constitution is the greatest political privilege that was ever accorded to the human race. Success is the result of a law of nature that states that if you give enough people what they want, you will get what you want. The way to deal with problems is not to legislate them away. We should look for solutions, not for excuses. Confidence is contagious. So is lack of confidence. Do what you can, with what you have, where you are. Silent Cal, as I am often called, would find it difficult to talk so much if I had to say something about everything that came up. We do not need more laws, we need more obedience. In times like these, it is more important than ever to remember the fundamental principles of our nation and to keep our focus on doing what is right, not what is easy. A government that is big enough to give you everything you want is big enough to take everything you have. History teaches that the danger of the future is in the danger of the present. Nothing is easier than spending the public's money. It is quite difficult to spend it wisely. The chief business of the American people is business, but the chief business of government is to ensure that business thrives. It is much more difficult to try to achieve the greatest things than it is to do the easiest. Character is the most important factor for success in life. You can be talented, but if you don't have character, you will never achieve your goals. Let us not go back to the time before our prosperity. Let us go forward in the spirit of freedom. To govern is to choose. To choose is to decide what must be done and what must be left undone. We have become great, not because of our ability to remake the world, but because we have made the world over in our own image. The American people are the most generous people in the world, but they are also the most cautious. They demand results, not rhetoric. We do not want to go back to a government where people are dependent upon the state for their livelihoods. We want a government that enables people to stand on their own 2 feet. The greatest thing about America is not that we have the best government, but that we have the greatest people. Men do not make history, history makes men. Work and let work. Government's first duty is to protect the people, not run their lives. A man who is good enough to shed his blood for his country is good enough to be given a square deal afterwards. Life is one full thing after another, whereas love is 2 full things after each other. America's best days are ahead of her, as long as we keep our faith in her principles. Freedom is a state of mind. If you are free to think and act as you choose, no one can enslave you. The strength of the nation lies in the strength of its people, and we can only achieve greatness if we stand together as one. The highest duty of government is to promote the general welfare, but the government must also protect individual liberty. Better to have a government that is ineffective than a government that is overly intrusive. Let us not forget that the government is meant to serve the people, not the other way around. Let us have faith in ourselves, in our principles, and in our future. The most important thing in life is to do what you believe is right, even if it is unpopular. War is not only the test of patriotism but the test of national character. True liberty is not the ability to do whatever you want, but the ability to do what is right. Character, not circumstances, is what determines success. In America, we do not believe in a government of rulers, we believe in a government of law. The people of America must believe in themselves and their ability to shape their future. Liberty is not something that is given, it is something that is earned. Greatness is the result of many small actions performed consistently over time. The most important task of any leader is to inspire confidence in the people. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence, and nothing in life can replace a love of the good and right. A government that is big enough to give you everything you want is big enough to take everything you have. Success is the result of a law of nature that states that if you give enough people what they want, you will get what you want. Americans are a people of faith and hope, and it is that belief in themselves and their future that will keep them strong. The future is not in the hands of politicians or bureaucrats, it is in the hands of the people.